Are we going by common law or Admiralty Law? The straw man that the government has created, which is what's on my driver's license, is not grammarly correct.
You took back that waiver.
What do you mean you take it back?
Nobody wants to take my case. I didn't consent to any of this. I'm not a 6-foot black man. And if I show up next time without an attorney, well, then you can just throw me in jail.
I really don't want to have that officer take you out to the jail, but security. Now, Miss Phillips, you're charged, we're not on the record yet, but Miss Phillips, you're charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Miss Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry, I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the internet.
get that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. That's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insurance. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you do. You have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am, I
hire
did.
an attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's not about not affording it.
You've
Because
had
I have to need a hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County is the problem.
All right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are we going by common law or Admiralty Law here?
Well, we're going by statutory law in the state of Kansas. So
if this is a trial, why is there no jury?
This is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but.
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he represented you.
I understand. I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there will be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is fine that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. Basically, Ms. Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't. But that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm giving up a right to speak. That makes no sense, Your Honor. Truly.
Independent of whether you talk to him or not.
I'm sorry.
Regardless of whether you talk to him or not, do you want an attorney?
Well, he said himself he didn't want, he wasn't willing to until I signed this waiver.
That's right.
Waiving my right. He didn't want to speak to me until then.
If you're going to go out and get an attorney, he has to ethically go through the attorney. And that's why he is following his conscience on the ethical issue.
Okay.
And his obligations.
This whole thing is an ethical issue, ma'am.
You're muted. Deputy, why is she muted?
That was me. I just explained to her what this waiver meant, so that the attorney could talk to her.
All right. Well, be careful giving her legal advice. I think it could.
It wasn't. It was very simple.
I just tell her about
it was
the form.
layman's terms.
Okay.
Do you need me to sign this?
Yes, put your name there and sign it there for me.
Only if you believe you understand. Ms. Phillips?
Yep, I understand. Do I need to sign it in my straw man name or my birth name?
Well, your legal name.
Well, because that's two separate things.
Your legal name is separate from what?
The straw man that the government has created, which is what's on my driver's license.
That's not the name your parents gave you that's on your driver's license?
No, that's not grammatically correct. That is not my given name on my driver's license.
All right. What name did your parents give you?
Tracy Lynn Phillips.
All right. And that's on your birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the name on your driver's
The one
license?
the government created.
That's not the name on your driver's license? Tracy Lynn Phillips
No,
is not the
it's
name?
not. It's not the same one.
All right. What's the name on your driver's license?
Tracy Phillips.
Just Tracy Phillips? They took off
That
the
isn't
lid?
the one on the driver's license is not grammatically correct, ma'am.
All right. How is it not correct?
It's all in capitals.
Oh,
That's
I
not
see.
grammatically correct.
I see. Okay, I see where we're going. All right.
So I need to know, ma'am, am I supposed to put the one that's in all capitals that's on my driver's license on here and then sign it
Miss
as the entity to Tracy Lynn
I'm ready
Phillips?
to run out of my patience with you. You need to settle
Okay.
down.
I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question.
No, you're not. You're not just
I'm not
asking a
disrupting
question.
anything. I simply asked a question.
Look, Miss Phillips, you see that officer sitting next to you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you know I have the authority to tell him to put you into custody until you're ready to cooperate? Now, I don't want to do that, but you're being belligerent and difficult in this court's opinion.
I don't understand what you're wanting from me. I'm really not being difficult.
All right, I want you to stop talking for a moment, and I want you to tell me, did you read the form in front of you?
Yes, ma'am, I did read the form.
And you signed the form. No, you haven't signed it because you don't know what
I
name
have it
to use.
because I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to, what name am I supposed
I
to add
want
the
you
letters
to
in capitals?
sign. I want
Or
you to
my-
sign your legal name.
Put your first name up here. Or your name up here.
Deputy, please don't help her. I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that it could become a problem for you and her and me both.
I just showing her to where to write her name in the slot. So
I know, but I don't think you ought to be doing that. Thank you. I know you
There you
mean well. All right. So, do you have any questions about the document you just signed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. And you do know that you can hire an attorney? Yes or no?
I understand.
And do you understand if you could not afford an attorney, you could apply and see if one could be appointed? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And knowing that those two facts, you are waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to counsel today on the record, both in writing and in oral fashion. Now, with that being said, Mr. Regier, I'll just open it up to whether or not you want to attempt any kind of negotiation with her, or if you want to proceed with the trial that we have scheduled and the witness that you have subpoenaed and appears today.
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this juncture, what I would tell the court is that for purposes of resolving this case short of trial, if the defendant pleads as charged to all charges, the state would be prepared to recommend non-reporting probation. The state does not have anything further to add at this time. The state would further be recommending, in addition to non-reporting probation, underlying sentences, court costs, and fines.
All right, Mr. Phillips. That's all he's going to say to you. Apparently, he's not going to meet with you privately.
That's fine.
But he is saying that he would recommend non-reporting probation if you plead as charged. So, how do you want to proceed?
No,
Do you
I'm sorry.
want to proceed with your trial then?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Are
I
there any
don't
opening
agree with that.
statements? You don't agree with his offer?
No, ma'am, I don't.
2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. All parties appearing as before. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Tracy Lynn Phillips, in person and pro se, having signed a waiver of counsel and orally waived right to counsel as well, both on the record. And we are ready to start the bench trial with Master Trooper Kane ready to testify, it looks like. But before he does, any opening statement, Mr. Regier?
Judge, can I say one thing? She took back
Go ahead, Deputy.
She took back that waiver, so that makes a difference.
All right, where's your attorney? Who's going to represent you?
We've already discussed that.
Well, you signed a written waiver. What do you mean you take it back? Do you mean you want to proceed with an attorney? You either have an attorney or you don't.
I don't know. Your Honor,
Yes.
this whole thing, I don't even know what to do. I have tried to hire an attorney. I do not want a court appointed. Was thrown under the bus last time. I don't even understand why I have this ticket to begin with.
Well, an attorney could help with that.
It's ridiculous.
But you have, I don't recall you gave me any indication before that we were going to have the issues today that we're having.
Because I was never allowed to say anything. There were issues. Case in point, going to jail twice on a warrant, Mr. Reiger, that wasn't me. Quite obviously.
Is this still the same case that you said initially back in a couple of years ago? It wasn't you.
Why I was initially here when I saw you the first time? Yes, that most certainly wasn't me. I'm not a 6-foot black man.
Okay. All right, Mr.
Apparently,
Phillips,
that's
we
what
need
it
to get on
says.
with- we
That's
need
what
to
it
get
says on the
with
warrant.
things.
That's what it says on the warrant.
We need to get on with this hearing one way or the other. You have waived your
I'm
right
going to
to
find an
counsel.
attorney then.
Well, you will if I continue this to allow you to do so, because this case has gotten some age on it. It's a
Ma'am, it
2023 case.
Yes.
It's a 2023 case. Now, don't talk over me.
Just soon be
Stop.
done with it.
Stop. It's a 2023 case, and you failed to appear several times.
No, I did not,
And then-
ma'am. I did not fail to appear.
And we've been through this issue of the attorney for a while now. And by the way, I do show you failed to appear September 4th, 2024. This is not open to debate or further discussion on that issue. The court's taking judicial notice of its own records. Now, you've had since the first appearance, September 4th, if you'd been here, but we weren't able to get you here until January 8th. And you told us you were going to hire an attorney, but that you were unable to find one, apparently. And there was discussion about you filling out an application for court appointed. So all of this, and that was back in January, and then we were going to come back in March, and we did. And that's when it was set for bench trial. But Mr. Regier, is this the continuation of that first case? Because the notes aren't gelling with what I recall in that other case.
One moment, Your Honor.
I think that was this 2019 case that was dismissed. Well, she was dismissed with one count of guilty to speeding, maybe.
What?
Ms. Phillips, one of us may be confused on this, because I show that you had a 2019 TR 1413. You were operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. That charge was dismissed in exchange for your plea of guilty to speeding.
No.
Well, that's what your record says. And that's what I'm thinking, that maybe you're running the two together. But anyway, Mr.
I
Regier,
never pled on that case.
All right. Well, maybe you were found guilty at trial, but it looks like you
No,
can't.
it never went to trial. Mr. Reiger was supposed to wipe that one and the other one off because it was obvious that it wasn't me. I have never lived in Topeka in my life.
All right.
That's the one you're talking about.
Mr. Regier, I'm ready to go to trial.
Your Honor,
Are you ready?
Your Honor, I believe the court had previously made reference to Butler County 19 TR 1413. The state's records indicate that there was a plea of guilty in 2019 to one count of speeding. And the state, what I would also tell the court is in the current case, actually on the docket today, 23 TR 3395, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
All right.
And Your Honor, as a preliminary matter, is the court finding that the defendant has revoked her waiver of counsel in light of the statements on the record?
Well, I tell you, we've been all over the board on that, Miss Phillips.
I don't even have the 19.
Miss Phillips,
Yes,
final. This is your final answer that I'm wanting here. We're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
stick with it. Are you waiving your right to an attorney, or
No, ma'am,
are
I'm
you
not.
not?
No,
All
ma'am.
right. Now, you said you've talked to attorneys. None of them will take your case in
Yes,
Butler
ma'am.
County. What can you tell me that will be different if I continue this to allow you to find an attorney if none of them will work in Butler County?
I'm going to go across the street and speak with the one attorney that I haven't spoken with. And I'm sorry,
Who will that be?
Gail Jensen.
Does he expect you today?
No, ma'am, he does not.
And do you have any reason to believe he would take your case? Because I understood he was retired or trying to be retired.
Can I give you a guarantee that he will?
I'm not asking
take
for
my
a
case.
guarantee. I said, do you have reason to believe he'll take your case?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. You have a history or something with him that makes you think that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what if he says no? Then what will you do?
Well, then I will get a recommendation from him. And if I show up next time without an attorney, well, then you can just throw me in jail.
Miss Phillips, I just have a hard time believing.
Ma'am, I am frustrated by this whole thing. The whole thing. Mr. Ryder, I don't know what this 19 case is, where I supposedly pled guilty to
You're
speeding.
not going to have a conversation with him.
None of this makes any sense to me. Oh, my
Miss Phillips,
gosh. I have to.
I really don't want to have that officer take you out to the jail, but
It ain't gonna happen.
oh, it might. Okay. Now, Mr. Radier, we've been at this for so long now. Looks like the original case was open November 16th of 23, but the ticket was issued November 8th of 23. And I'm not sure if this is the first time Trooper Kane has been subpoenaed in here or not, because we
But I
did
would-
have.
What I would tell the court, Your Honor, is that today's setting does appear to be the first bench trial setting in this matter.
All right. So are you not objecting to the continuance? Or were you just stating a fact?
The state is merely stating a fact, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have an objection?
Your Honor, I think the court has already made its concerns about the age of this case and timely reaching a disposition. It would appear the defendant has made certain statements about, I guarantee, to use her words, that she will have Mr. Jensen represent him in this case. I have no personal knowledge to any communications they may not have. But again, in light of the age of the case, as well as the defendant's statements on the record, the state does believe a timely administration of justice is especially appropriate in this matter. And the state did issue its subpoenas for the presence of the officer. The officer has taken time out of his schedule to appear here today. And absent any other concerns the court may have, I will tell the court the state is prepared to proceed to trial, but again, acknowledging a defendant's right to counsel in these types of situations, but I'm not sure how the court wishes to reconcile that in light of the prior procedural history of this case and the statements made by the defendant on the record here today.
Well, I don't want to repeat. If I continue this, I don't want to repeat of today. I don't want to hear Miss Phillips. I want you. I don't want you to come in and use the excuse that no attorney will come to Butler County, because they do it all the time. I know they will. And I don't want you to sign a waiver. I don't want you to tell me you waive and then you take it back. You either are going to, this is your last chance, you're either going to get an attorney or we're going to proceed, because you have had since 2023 to get an attorney. And you said you have the money to do it. You said you don't want to use a court-appointed attorney. You said something about last time you didn't apparently like the results of the last court-appointed attorney, maybe. But I'm not quite sure I'm catching everything you're throwing out there. So at this time, very reluctantly, I will continue this bench trial. Because yes, you're entitled to have an attorney, but you are not entitled to use it willy-nilly back and forth to delay proceedings or anything of that sort. So, Jenna, when's our next available bench trial?
Your Honor, I have July 16th.
Okay. We'll put it on July 16th at 1:30.
Your Honor,
Yes,
the
Michelle.
defendant is holding some paperwork in her hands. Can she read the case number off of that? I don't know if she's referring to the same case about being arrested.
Oh, okay. Do you have another case you've been here on besides the two we've mentioned today, Miss Phillips?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's that case number?
Bear with me, please.
Sure.
Sorry, bear with me, please.
Your Honor, while she's looking, the 16th of July will not be good for me.
Okay, thank you for telling me then.
Anytime after.
All right. Jenna, that we can't do that. If you can give me another date, please.
Oh, we can do July 23rd as well, Your Honor.
Will that work?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
okay? All right. Miss Phillips,
Yes, ma'am.
please take note. Please take note. Disregard July 16th and take note.
Okay.
Your trial will be July 23rd at 1:30.
Okay.
All right. And at this time, I'm going to let you go, Trooper, unless for some reason you particularly want to stay around.
I appreciate it, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
I believe this is case number 23TR2386.
Oh, that
I believe.
I don't know why that does not show up on the Odyssey history, but that sounds more like the time frame of when you were here before.
And Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Regier.
what I do show from my notes is that that case was last taken up by the court on December 11th, 2024. And the court did remove that case from the docket at the state's request.
Okay, and was that the speeding one?
No, that one was back in 2019. The one he's talking about was in 23, and that was speeding 91 in a 75, no insurance,
Yeah, because that was the one that,
and no driver's license
Yeah,
from
that
July
was the
12th
one-
to 23.
yes, ma'am, because that was the one that wasn't me, because I have never not had a driver's license. I've always had one. That was the one that was supposed to have been dropped because
Well,
it's not me.
And that's another one that on August 26th of 24, you failed to appear, and a $2,000 cash or surety bench warrant was issued.
Yes, ma'am, because it's not me. Quite obviously.
Alright.
Because on the warrant, there's a description,
Your Honor,
of who
Yes.
they were looking for.
date of birth on this citation for that case that
Your
we're-
Honor, state would object at this time. This is being broadcast over YouTube. The state would have certain concerns about broadcasting personally identifiable information.
I'm gonna say the year.
I'm sorry, Michelle, what was that?
The year of birth on this is 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
would
you're
or 25.
Are you saying on the 23 case?
Yes.
Okay, that's probably why the state dismissed it. And now we've got this case.
Okay, so
The
Is-
23 case is still pending.
It is still pending. Does it have a docket date?
No.
All right, Mr. Regier, what's the state planning to do with that case? Are you dismissing it?
Your Honor, the state is still in the process of reviewing that case. What I would tell the court is, per the state's request at the last hearing in that case, the state did request that that matter be specifically taken off the court's docket, and the court did grant that request.
Well, you may be looking at speedy trial on the 23 case. But I do know that the defendant had several, as I was looking at the docket notes, she did have at least a couple of failures to appear. And I remember she herself was here telling the court that it was not her. Well, Mr. Regier, we can't just leave a case sitting in limbo. We need to either get it on the docket or get it dismissed. What do you want to do?
One moment, Your Honor.
We could set it on that same docket that we're setting this one, July 23rd, if you want. And then we can resolve it one way or another.
No objection to setting that case on that same date if that is the court's order, Your Honor.
Okay, so Miss Phillips, you might tell Mr. Jensen we have two cases on that docket.
Yep.
Give him that 23 case, and I'm going to set that for trial too, Mr. Regier. So have your witnesses ready for that if you're going to go to trial. And let's see, we have the defendant on. Let's see. Let me check one other matter.
Okay, so the 23, I'm sorry, the 23 case, when you say 23, you mean 23 TR 2386? Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently when it was taken off the docket, the state did not put it back on the docket, and it's just been kind of sitting out there,
okay.
running the clock, as they say. So
So
I'm going
This-
to put it.
I'm sorry.
I'm putting it on July 26th or 23rd at 1:30 also.
Your Honor.
Okay, so was this failure to appear on that speeding?
You've had failures to appear on both of the pending cases. In this case that we came to court on today, 23 TR 3395.
Yeah, that was the one I was never served a subpoena on because I showed up. I was here on the date on the ticket.
Hold up. I'm going to answer your question.
Yes, ma'am.
September 4th, 2024, you failed to appear for first appearance and a bench warrant issued. Then you were present January 8th, 2025, and that's when there was a discussion about you would hire an attorney, etc. So you had one failure to appear there. Now, then March 17th, we set it for bench trial. So you had one failure to appear, it looks like in this case. Now, if you go back to that 23...
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Interrupt you.
Wait a minute. I'm going to answer your question, and you're going to give me time to do it. BU 2023 TO. In the 2023 TR 2386, a suspension notice, by the way, was sent to Kansas Department of Revenue, so you better be checking your license before you drive. I don't know how you came to court today, but don't go driving if your license is suspended, as it looks like it probably is. Now, in that case, you were charged and are still charged with speeding 91 in a 75, driving without insurance, and driving without a license on January or July the 12th of 23. And then the failures to appear included March 15th of 24, or I'm sorry, March 25th of 2024, you failed to appear and a bench warrant was ordered. July 3rd, 24, you were here, said you were going to hire an attorney. We set the matter for August 26th. August 26th, you failed to appear a second time and another bench warrant with an increased bond. Then December 11th, 2024, the case was called. And I don't have any indication that you or your attorney were here. And that's the hearing where Assistant County Attorney Jared Regier asked that we remove it from that day's docket. And apparently it just, as I said, just kind of has been hanging around out there ever since. So I'm putting it back on the docket. I'm setting it for trial the same day as the other case. And so with that being said, now then, Ms. Phillips, what did you want to say?
I honestly don't even remember, Your Honor.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, well then I don't think we have anything else we need to take up today. Anything else, Mr. Regier?
From the state's perspective, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is Jenna and Destiny. Can I have a breakout room with you and Mr. Regier real quick?
Before I adjourn?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll do a sidebar, basically. Well, it's not a sidebar if the defendant's not there. It's not an appropriate one. All right, let's take a quick one, but I'm is it concerning this case?
It is, there's a few issues, Your Honor, and I believe that they need to be taken up in a breakout room instead of.
Well, I'm not comfortable with that because the defendant has a right to be present at all stages of the proceedings. So I think you may have to just go out on a limb and state what it is that, because if it concerns this case, I can't have any one-sided conversations without both parties?
Well, it concerns the 2023-2386, not necessarily the case we have on the docket today.
Well, I still have the same rules for that case as I do for this one.
And Your Honor,
A judge can't have one-sided conversations with one party over the other. And I know, Mr. Regier, you wouldn't do that either. So what is your thought, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, may I request a brief 5-minute recess?
All right, I'll give you a 5-minute recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
So,
We're back on the record in 23 TR 3395, also 23 TR 2386, each captioned State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier still appearing for the state. Tracy Lynn Phillips still appearing in person and pro se. Mr. Regier, you wanted a recess. Is there any announcement at this time?
Your Honor, at this juncture, the state does not believe that a sidebar would be appropriate. While the court clerk is certainly can provide whatever information the court clerk may wish to the court, the state understands that the court clerk is not a party to this case, and therefore the state, and under these particular circumstances, the state does not believe a sidebar would be procedurally appropriate.
All right. So is there anything else we need to address, Mr. Regier, before we adjourn?
Not from the state's perspective, Your Honor.
Ms. Phillips, anything else we need to address before we adjourn for today?
no, ma'am. I do believe I will be back with an attorney. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
We are adjourned.
Your Honor, if I could stay and talk with you.
Well, depends on what it's about, but yeah.
Yeah, I can say it here. That's perfectly fine. I'm not sure. Are we still
Barb?
keeping the 2023 case 2386 on the same date as well?
Yes.
Okay. I only have a problem with that as the defendant does not match, not by description of driver's license.
Well, we'll bring that up. That'll be a trial issue then.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be an issue for trial if the.
And it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Your Honor, may I withdraw from the Zoom conference?
I think we all can. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor.